serene quiet of a dense forest, lived a boy named Rafi. Rafi was bright, kind, and brimming with the expansive dreams of a future traveler, envisioning mountains scaled and distant oceans crossed. Yet, a shadow fell across his gentle nature, a fierce, demanding impatience. Rafi measured life by speed. If a desired outcome didn't manifest swiftly, he prematurely declared it impossible, convinced that delay signified definitive failure. His belief system lacked the necessary faith in process. One crisp morning, the forest floor, dark with recent rain, received Rafi as he set out to gather firewood for his mother. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and pine, a symphony of renewal accompanied by the cheerful, unrestrained melodies of unseen birds darting among the branches. Venturing deeper, Rafi's attention was snagged by a faint, continuous sound, a small, quivering plea that was too fragile to be the forest's usual chorus. He followed the sound until he found its source, a tiny, yellow bird, immobile on the mossy ground. Its wing was contorted unnaturally, and its miniature chest fluttered violently, a visible manifestation of terror. Rafi knelt slowly, his own heart softening with profound pity. "It's all right, little one. You are safe now," he murmured, his voice a gentle assurance. Though silent, the bird's wide, fearful eyes seemed to fasten on him, trusting him implicitly for protection. He carefully gathered the creature, its weight negligible, a fragile fragment of sunshine in his hands. Rafi brought his rescue home, fashioning a sanctuary in a small wooden box lined with soft cotton and old cloth. He positioned this makeshift nest near the window, where the first, soft light of morning would bathe it in warmth. He named the bird Suno, the one who listens. Rafi became a devoted caretaker, providing fresh seeds, droplets of water, and finely crumbled bread. Slowly, Suno's agitation subsided. Its eyes grew clearer, more focused. But as days bled into a week, Rafi's familiar impatience began to claw its way back. "Why are you still grounded? Why can't you fly already?" he muttered, his voice edged with frustration as he stared at the resting bird. His mother, who had been observing his tending, approached him gently. "Rafi," she said, her voice a calm stream. "Healing is a journey, not a destination. You cannot command a journey to rush. Patience is the only vehicle." Rafi turned away, his expression resistant. To him, this waiting was not a necessary step but a personal failing, a form of losing time. Later that evening, in the silver stillness created by the moon, Rafi sat beside Suno's box. Suno peered up at him, its tiny eyes catching the pale light. Rafi leaned in and whispered his challenge, "If you won't even try, how can you ever fly?" He was convinced he was providing motivation, but the impulse driving him was a coercive push, a rush toward a premature goal. His resolve hardened. "Perhaps tomorrow. I will take him outside. He simply needs a forceful nudge." The next morning, Rafi awoke before the sun had fully lifted, the sky painted in tentative shades of gold and rose. The air was invigorated, charged with new life. His heart hammered with a blend of excitement and intense hope. He cradled Suno and walked toward the familiar embrace of the forest. He set the bird gently upon a low, accessible branch. "All right, Suno," he encouraged softly. "Be brave. Spread your wings now." The bird trembled, its head shaking weakly in a silent declaration, "I am not ready." Rafi, however, was deaf to the warning. He saw only stubbornness where there was only fragility. Believing his action was one of aid, he administered a slight, firm push upward. For a chilling moment, there was absolute silence. Then, the desperate, uncoordinated flapping of tiny wings, a struggle, a momentary effort, followed instantly by a fall. It wasn't a great distance, but the landing was sudden and hard enough to cause pain. Rafi gasped, rushing to the earth. The bird lay still, stunned, its previous terror redoubled, weaker than before. A crushing guilt seized Rafi's chest, heavy and cold as stone. "I'm sorry, Suno. I am so terribly sorry," he choked out, his voice shaking. Tears blurred his vision as he carefully lifted the injured, vulnerable creature into his hands. That night was one of deep quiet. Rafi was subdued, the usual brightness extinguished. He sat vigil beside Suno, observing its fragile, sleeping form. His pain was not fueled by anger or impatience this time, but by profound, aching regret. Why did I rush? Why couldn't I simply listen? Why did I force a moment that wasn't here? The self-interrogation was relentless. His mother joined him, her presence a soft comfort, placing a warm, grounding hand on his shoulder. Rafi, she began, her voice steady. Things go wrong when we refuse to trust the necessary time. And sometimes, what feels like a delay from God is simply His better plan unfolding, a plan that waits until we are truly ready. Filled with hope, trust, and the quiet, enduring strength of patience. If impatience ever exhausts you, or life's pace feels too slow, recall the story of Rafi and Suno. Remember the little bird who soared perfectly only when truly ready. Learn to embrace the journey. Take a deep breath.